Always takes longer than you think. Dying.
So the story of the Rooster is about a small town cop who makes an error at work, and it sort of has devastating consequences for his life. And he goes out to the forest to sort of grieve and meets an old man who lives out in the bush.
Peace up! This is my forest.
The man in the bush.
He was a friend. You have a hit with me, and I'll tell you everything I know about that poor soul.
An unlikely friendship, an unlikely mentor-mentoree kind of relationship develops from that. 21 wins, yeah?
No one wins, mate. Just stay in the fucking game.
Many of the themes of the film are about what it is to be a man, and it explores all the archetypes of malehood. So it's a complex relationship, but ultimately they do move into a territory where they're sort of helping each other. Not obviously, but they sort of need to travel down the same road for a while.
It's very much diving into really deep and profound topics, but it's not pretentious, and having that element of mystery and seeing what will happen.
When I started writing the project, I was always writing for Hugo, and he was so supportive along the way. He was just like, yeah, write something, keep working on it. And I wouldn't have written for him if he wasn't so generous of spirit and such an icon of the Australian film industry, and so protective of Australian work and the need for Australian work.
Mark got onto me, well, it was a few years back now, and said he'd written a script and was interested in, could I read it? And I said, absolutely love to. So I read it and I really loved it. So it was Mark and the script that drew me to it, really.
With Phoenix, who plays Dan, there's this gentleness and there's this understatedness. As soon as I sort of had connected with him and started talking to him, I could never see anyone else playing it. He was the only person we spoke to about playing it. And I feel very blessed that he's come to work on this project.
The landscape is so evocative and it plays such a big part in the mood of the piece. And I think it's a side of Australia that we don't often see on screen.
We don't exist in vacuums, we don't exist in concrete boxes, we exist often in a landscape, and the environment is very important to us.
You know, doing a micro-budget film, the whole film lives or dies with the crew, I think. And this crew has been unbelievable. It's all infused with love, and the story itself sort of is infused with a lot of love and pain, and so we're living that as we're shooting, and I think the crew are wonderful.
It's the beginning and the end of it. It's amazing.
I hope so.
Shame. It's all over you. I don't know what happened to my life. I don't know where it went.
I think Mark's done such a beautiful job of crafting these very real people who aren't just cliches. They're really full of contradictions and very specific details that make them unique human beings.
I hope that audiences firstly experience a good story, a story that's interesting and unique, that has a generosity of spirit, that is full of life and humour, even whilst it's tackling death and despair. So I hope that it's very entertaining, as well as sort of an interesting glimpse into a different type of story. So that's my prayer.